have like field trips to the Hall of Fame? Have you heard of anything like this?
For BMX?
Yeah, like can you imagine if you're in 4th grade and you're going, well, next week we have a field trip. We're going to the National BMX Hall of Fame, and you walk in there. How would that stir interest in the sport, dude? That had to be good. Someone has already had to have thought of this. It probably already has happened.
Kevin, you're on fire. Great. You're on fire, dude. That's another great idea, dude.
I would go to. I didn't go to a lot of school, but I'd go to school that day. Hell, fuck yeah, man.
You guys ready to get started?
Yeah. So, okay, do the stretch, the Pena stretch. All right. Thank you very much. Welcome back to the BMX Podcast. We got Shane Wimberly on, one of our favorite guests. Shane, thank you very much for coming back on, bro.
No problem.
I don't even know if you can call him a guest anymore. He's just kind of a co-host.
Well, he got promoted, right? He's a contributor.
Yeah.
My wife called me a consultant.
The consultant. And let's give Shane some props here, because he's reaching out and connecting to riders, encouraging them to come on the show, which is helping us tremendously, because me and Kevin aren't the best of asking people to come on the show.
We're horrible, actually.
Yeah, I think we have that fear of rejection. It's like asking the hottest girl in school out on a date. You're like, I'm afraid to do it. She might reject me, and then
what's the worst they can do? No, not interested. Okay, then you move on. It's
I got a message back from a Hall of Famer one time where it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Some cool topics I think we're going to talk about, right, Danny?
Yeah, I got some stuff for us tonight. Want to thank Shane for coming back. Shane's a kind of a regular co-host of the show. He's been reaching out to a lot of riders for us and trying to get the word out, and it's been helping tremendously. We got some guests coming up based on Shane's efforts, and so things are going well, man. We've been doing really well. We can talk about that as well.
Yeah, nice, dude. So we just dropped the Greg Hill interview last week, and I don't know about you, Danny, but I've received probably, 10 direct messages from people, texts, saying how good it was. I feel like we wrote Hotel California, but we didn't realize we wrote it, dude.
I did take the time to screenshot some of the messages for us. I thought it would be kind of cool to talk about. We could jump to that if you. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So let's take a look here on my slow phone. All right. Okay. So these comments are coming from Facebook and YouTube. So we got Brian Schrader. He just said nice with a bunch of explanation points, but that's perfect. Then we had Robert Falmer. He says, all due respect to anyone that likes the movie, but it's lame as hell. He's referring to Rad. He didn't like Rad because Greg made comments that he refused to do the movie. Let's see. Tommy Yaley said Rad was lame. Okay, I'm just going to say I like Rad. I'm going to put that out there. Okay. Tony England said, you did the right call. My all-time number 2 rider, Greg Hill. So I guess he has a number 1 rider, but he loved that. He loved the interview. So that came from Tony England. And then Jonathan, I cut off his line. Why does Bill Allen and Lori Loughlin and Bart Taylor, Rod and Rex never existed yet? Screw the pros. No idea what he's trying to say there. Do you have any idea what he's trying to say?
No.
No, maybe proofread. But thanks for the comment, Jonathan.
Maybe he was
Alex Whaley.
Hey, Danny, maybe he was saying that the pros should have gotten more of the film.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
There you go. Oh, thank you. I bet Jonathan appreciates the fact that Shane can define it Alex Walix, Greg is simply the best, most straightforward guy ever. That was a nice comment. Somebody named Flat Landy. He said, didn't he have GHP bikes going on as well in 1985? I think the answer to that is yeah, he was still running GHP bikes in 85, I believe, because he mentioned he went to Redline in 86 during the interview. Jason Allen, maybe you won everything in 85 because your competition did rad. So he's saying a lot of the riders went to do rad when he was winning everything.
Well, wait on that. Greg said for himself, all the top riders, all the top pros didn't do rad.
Yeah.
So,
right. That was his comment on that. And there was great riders in rad, don't get me wrong, but what Greg is saying is the guys that were in contention couldn't do it. Yeah. Let's see. Doug Newsbomb, he says, Richie Anderson was as good as they come for style. And Richie Anderson was in the movie, obviously. I don't know if he's referring to the movie. I'm just thinking he's saying that about Richie. And Richie doesn't do podcasts. We don't even need to bother to ask him. That's what I've heard anyway. I don't know. Let's see. Joey Mills says, I have a first-generation GHP, which I thought was pretty cool. And let's see, what else do we have here? There were so many comments, dude. Oh, here's a really good one from Woody Itzen. World famous freestyler. He says, I 100% can relate to Greg on this. I did a private show for Hal Needham and his people in the back of a parking lot at an ABA National in Los Angeles, along with Martin Aparijo on the SST quarter pipe to show them what freestyle was all about. Afterwards, Hal shook our hands. He could definitely make the movie out of this, he said, and that he wanted us in the movie. When the time came, they called Hutch and asked to fly me up to Canada to film the movie. And when I asked Hutch what they were paying, he said they wanted me to do it for exposure for my sponsor only. I laughed at that, told Hutch I would be losing money, giving up being on tour. He agreed. He wanted me to go on the road with Hutch, so we got Rick to do it. I think he's referring to Rick Molinaro because he was in the movie. It always seemed lame to me that they were going to pay actors who can't ride a bunch of money to pretend they can ride and then tell some of the best riders in the world, we won't pay you, but you will get exposure for your sponsors. So they didn't even offer him anything. I guess they offered Greg, what, did he say $200 a week for the movie? You remember, Kevin?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Woody said they weren't going to give him anything. So he's like, I'm not going to do it for free, essentially was his comments. Now I'm moving on to YouTube comments. Somebody named Econ Recon. I thought the track was closed. Love you guys. Somebody named Phantoms. He said, great interview, guys. Love Greg's story about the handlebars and GHP years in the race with Sewell. Let's say you really did your homework and got him talking about subjects I haven't heard before. Did you find out if Greg still rides for fun? Hope you can get Greg back on for more stories. That was pretty cool. Yeah. And let's see.
Hasn't Greg said that he's done on a bike?
I know he still rides, but he's not. I don't think he doesn't like riding the 20-inchers anymore.
I think he said on Dream Knobs that he's done racing, period. End of story.
Yeah. I think that's in his past now.
Yeah.
And let's see. Robert Towns. I always loved Greg. We go back 30 years, so it's a personal friend of Greg. And then little Jerry Seinfeld, Greg Hill, nice job, guys. He liked it.
Yeah.
All right. Econ Recon again. I thought the track was closed. I already read that one. Let's see. Somebody, MMA Champ. Oh, listen to this one. You ready?
Yeah.
This was my favorite episode ever. Danny and Kevin, thank you. Greg for all you've contributed in your life. I know he was right about being rounded in your life. I did BMX and motocross in 1985. I was racing pro in both sports, but motocross won out. I got my sole focus in 1985 and 1986. I was racing supercross, but not being rounded, I had to go back up, plan for what I was going to do with my life. because then I ended up in the military. So yeah, so apparently he raced supercross, motocross, and then ended up in the military.
Shane might know this dude, man.
Yeah, it just says MMA champ on that's his handle on YouTube.
He was
And
at
then-
a higher level than I was.
What's that?
What's that?
He was at a higher level than I was if he was racing actual supercross.
Okay. Let me see what else I got for you. I try to get a lot of as much as I could, Kevin. Somebody from James Donna 6785. Awesome episode with Greg Hill. BMX saved a lot of us. Keep up the great work, guys. That was a good comment. All right.
Yeah.
And then we got one. Well, that's me. Let's see.
What'd you
And
say?
then I think I was just thanking people for what they were saying. That's about all I got. And that's only a fraction of them, man. There was some coming through on Facebook Messenger for me, and then there was a lot of comments that I saw on a lot of the shorts. There was a lot of comments on the shorts, so those were just some key ones. So that was pretty good.
So Danny, I want to give you props. I had never heard that Greg Hill was offered rad before. Is this common knowledge?
I think he mentioned it slightly in the Dirty Knobs interview, one of them. I thought he mentioned it, and I remember hearing it, and then I was thinking, well, wait a minute, why wouldn't he be in rad? Because he was like the dude, in that around that era, along with a lot of other guys. He wasn't alone because you got Stu and Brent and Brian and all those guys. And when you think about the movie Rad, if you bring in all these other superstars or studs of the sport at the time, I wonder if the movie would have had a different trajectory if there was more racers than freestylers in the movie. Because I think the Hell Track is based on a combination of freestyle and race. And they said that during the movie. I don't know if you remember that, Shane.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that's why it had the ramps and the quarter pipe jump and all that stuff that you wouldn't necessarily find on a regular BMX track. You know what I mean?
All right, Shane. Did you know about Greg Hill being offered rad or no?
No, and until he explained it, I hadn't actually thought of why Greg or Stewart and them weren't. But once he explained why he didn't do it, no disagreement on why he said no. I mean, he had his priorities straight, and it worked out. I mean, he won 4 titles that year?
Yeah, he won 4 titles.
No,
Shane, you were racing. You weren't pro yet.
I was still amateur.
Yeah.
And,
so would you have taken the opportunity to go on to that?
Absolutely. I wasn't up for a title. So.
There you go.
So my one comment on if they would have had more racers, then I don't think it would have impacted anything because all the BMXers that were going to go see it went to see it regardless of the lack of like Greg and Stu and them. So I don't think it would have, and the mainstream public, it wasn't received well, I don't think.
I got a question.
It was BMX.
Yeah, I got a question for both of you guys, and Kevin, I'll let you answer it first. So let's say we get the top 20 pros at the time in the movie. Do you think, in your opinion, there would be egos involved with like, I don't want to appear to be slow in the movie, or why am I behind this guy, or why do I have to let them win? Do you think that would be a factor, or do you think nobody really cares? It's just a movie.
I don't know, because if I was one of those pros, I wouldn't care. I would care if I looked stupid, not if I got beat or when I was behind another rider. I don't know, man. Maybe. I think it's possible. Yeah.
What do you think, Shane?
I'm going to say no, and only for the reason that when it's a legitimate race at the national grands, whatever, the best is going to shine. So they're going to know who the best riders are. Now, they may go to the director and say, okay, you want me to suck? I'm going to need a little bit of cha-ching.
Well, that was the question, right, Danny?
Yeah, that's the question, because you figure now the Hell Track race, they filmed it in segments. So, but when they were doing the qualifying rounds, there was a lot of scenes where everybody's in a full sprint. And so I would imagine it would be hard for somebody like Greg. They tell him, finish 5th in this race. And he'd probably be like, no. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking about egos and things like that. So I've never been a pro, but if I was a top level pro, I'd be like, I want some screen time of me kicking ass. And at least that's what I'm thinking. That's what I was wondering what you guys thought.
I kind of agree with you on that because, like I said, I would say I'm not wearing this damn hockey helmet. Give me something else, man.
So, what pro came out, I guess, with the most publicity from the movie?
Probably Mike Miranda. Yeah.
There you go. What was he known for? For crashing.
Yeah.
So, and why did he crash so much? Because Hal Needham paid him like $500 a crash.
Right.
I think it depends on the person. I mean, Mike has that personality of showman, and so he's going to want to do whatever it needs to be to make the movie the best that it can be. And then you're going to have serious riders that, no, I'm either winning or I'm out.
Right. That's why I never thought of it from that perspective until I read Woody's comments and we talked to Greg, and I thought to myself, what if they had all these superstars in that movie? How would they do it? You know what I mean? I mean, they can't win. It has to be crew, right? So they're going to be somewhere in the mix of things.
Okay.
I don't know.
Here's a comparison, Days of Thunder. You got all the top NASCAR drivers, and now you got Tom Cruise and Rowdy Gaines or whatever.
Yeah.
They were kicking everybody's butt. So how did that?
Oh, good point.
So, I mean, Tom Cruise was going from like 20th to 2nd into the first in like a half lap. That's not realistic, but
that's a good point. Well, I have some other topics for us tonight, guys. I was going to talk about. There is a podcast out there I've been running across on Facebook. I'm seeing like shorts, and I don't know if you guys have seen these guys, and they're awesome. They call themselves the Super Retro Podcast. It's just two dudes, and they sound like they have Southern accents a little bit, and all they talk about is toys, sports, cartoons they grew up with, gaming, shoes, going to the mall. It's awesome. If you've ever had a chance, Kevin, to look those guys up, it's kind of like they do what we do, but it's all, lifestyle things. It has nothing to do with BMX.
They take the pop culture and pump some steroids into it.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, really cool stuff. I don't know if you guys run across them, but I would suggest checking it out. Yeah, it's a Super Retro Podcast. It's really fun to watch these guys.
Is it on YouTube or is it just audio only?
I've only seen them on Facebook, but I guarantee they're probably on YouTube somewhere because most people don't go on just one platform, but I would say, it's definitely worth a watch. And then now the next thing I was going to tell you guys is I saw something very cool on Facebook. There's a gentleman by the name of Vince Thomas. He's 80 years old, and he raced at the Vegas Nationals at 80 years old, man. And Connor Fields was talking to the guy, and I'm telling you guys, when they were interviewing him, he looked like he was in his 60s. He did not look like he was 80 years old at all. I was like, damn, that guy looks good for 80 years old. And when Connor asked him about some of his accolades, he's won the Grands 3 times. He's got 2 world titles. He's got 1 Gold Cup championship. And this is all with having a knee replacement, a shoulder replacement, and he had bladder cancer. And he's still racing. And now I think the oldest class. What is the oldest class, Shane, for cruisers? Do you know? Is it 60 and over or
61 and over?
Yeah, and he's racing that class. And so he says, Connor asked him, what's your favorite part of the race? He goes, I like the gate start because it's the only time I'm really even with all the younger guys.
Well, how old was he when he won the Nationals?
I'm going to research that, Kevin, and I'll give you more feedback on it because that's a good question. I'd like to see more of his history. And Kev, if we can get hold of this guy, I would love to talk to him.
Oh yeah, dude, definitely.
Yeah.
I wonder how old he was when he started.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know if he's a late starter or whatever it is, but anytime you feel like you're too old to race, I'm just going to play that guy's clip and go, yeah, probably not too old.
And so, what's the guy's name again?
His name is Vince Thomas.
Vince
So,
Thomas.
if you look up Connor Fields on Facebook, you'll probably find a little snippet where he interviews him. And I thought it was super, super cool. I was like, wow, man, that's pretty freaking amazing.
Well,
if anybody knows Vince Thomas, let us know.
So,
yeah, let's get him on. Go ahead, Shane.
One thing I want to say about that, where I work, some of the people that have retired ended up passing away within 6 months to a year. And it's because they retire and they don't have anything to do. They just sit on the couch. So I give him kudos because it was probably after he retired, he's looking for a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And that's why he looks so young. And I mean, that's great that he's doing. I just saw a video of a 101-year-old man running track. And he got laughed, but he got the biggest ovation.
Yeah, dude, that's amazing.
Awesome to see people in that age group, that age range, that are out doing things.
Right, absolutely. Kevin, how do you feel about racing Dirty Fest coming up, man? Is that still a go for you, or are you on the fence about it?
It's 100%. I'm in Dirty Fest.
Oh, I got an idea. Put a GoPro on your helmet.
Huh?
Put a GoPro on your helmet. And
yeah. Well, yeah, dude. Definitely, I might do a GoPro, but I'm 100% doing Dirty Fest. Me and you, Danny, we're gonna race each other, dude.
It's gonna happen. Yeah, I was thinking about it today. I'm like, damn, man, Kevin's gonna want to race, so I'm gonna have to suck it up and do it, you know. And so I gotta get my USA BMX membership renewed and start getting some track time and getting used to riding on the track again, because it's been a hot minute since I've been on the track. But I did do some sprints, and it's still there. You never really forget, how to get in the position and crank hard. But it's just your wind, man. I went around my circle one hard time on my break time. My lungs were on fire.
Hey, dude, you're not too far away, bro. You gotta hook it up, man.
I'd be a great spectator.
Shane, you're the fastest of our trio here, dude. So
no. So, what bike are you going to use then? You can't use your new SE.
No, I know, man. I guess I'm gonna have to use the Skyway. But it's a repop. It's not an '80s Skyway. I don't know where that falls in the genre of things.
If we're gonna race each other, you have to have it's like 95 to 99, I think, is the cutoff for the bike.
95 to 99, so I got to put together something. Kevin had a whole garage full of power lights back in the day. I should have said.
I have one, dude. If you want to, I have a yellow power light you can borrow, dude.
I have to look. Yeah, I could probably just ride that, unless I throw something together.
I could ship it to you, and you can put whatever you want on it. Whatever, we'll deal with it later.
Okay, maybe I'll do that. Is it the same model as the one you're riding right now?
I think it's smaller. I don't know what it is. It might be a Spitfire.
Okay, have to take a look at it. We'll talk about it offline, because I was like, man, I'm gonna have to put something together, and I would love to take that. Trust me, man. But that they're gonna be like, yeah, you can't race that bike. It's way too new.
Don't they have a current or like a?
I don't know if you ride something current. I don't know where you race the Pro-Am or something. I don't know what you would race with the current bike.
They were racing new Race Incorporated, right?
Yeah, I saw
a brand new Race Incorporated.
Yeah, and I saw dudes on new mountain bikes going down the track. So that's why
not in the race though.
Yeah, I'm like, we'll have to figure it out. Maybe even message Mike. Where do I fall in this category if I bring a repop, or do I have to ride an older bike so I could be in the mix with Kevin anyways. I'll probably have to anyway, yeah.
You got to do it, man.
Yeah.
Do it for the pod, bro.
All right, we'll do that. Yeah, it's gonna be so funny, man.
and Salami is no longer invited.
Yeah, he just won.
Salami rode a modern S&M though. He wasn't riding a vintage bike.
I'm saying he just won a national, dude.
This one is national this weekend.
Yeah, he did. He won. Did really well in Vegas. Oh, as a matter of fact, guy, listen to this. I got a guy that was messaging me while he was at Vegas, and he just is going to make you laugh, Kev. Hold on a second. Let me figure out who it was. I get a lot of messages these days, man. His name is Lee Hoover. And he goes, let me see. He sent me a lot of messages. Let me see here. Man, he sent me a lot of messages. Well, let me just summarize. The guy messages me and he goes, hey, I'm racing this weekend. I'm racing your buddy, John Salami. Yeah, it says right here. Yeah. It looks like I'm racing your friend, John Salami, today. Want me to put him over the berm? That's what he said. He said, just kidding. I won't be anywhere near him. And then he said, I just talked to John. He's a super cool guy. And then Lee told me I finished 6 out of 7. At least I beat one guy. And I told him, hey, man, you made the main and you had fun. That's all that really matters. And there was 17-second fast lap times at that race, dude. 17 seconds.
Wow.
That was insanely short, man. So I was like, wow, that's a short track. But that was one that, Kev, we're going to have to probably race that maybe next year, you know?
Yeah, dude, I'm excited, man. I want to race. I'm going to train. I'm going to hook it up, dude.
We're going to have some fun on that one. All right, I'm looking forward to that then, dude.
Yeah. But did Salami, did he win on a cruiser or on his 20? On his 20, right?
20, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, he was showing pictures of his trophy and plaque, and I don't know if he won both days because he had one tall trophy and one plaque. So I don't know what that was all about.
I think he also won a state qualifier.
Oh, is that what it was? Yeah, he did. He was talking to us about that one.
Yeah. So and he's my age. So was it 58 beginner or what did he race?
He's in the novice class. I think that's what he told us.
Same thing. Right?
He was sandbagging. Sandbagger.
Yeah.
Just kidding, John.
All right. So moving on, I got this. I got a couple topics to talk about with you guys. Recently, I've been going back and forth with Terry Tennett a little bit regarding the podcast world and the sport of BMX. And he had some good, strong opinions, and he said I could play some of his recordings. You want to hear that?
Yeah.
All right, let's go back here. He sent me one. He just sent me a message, and I hadn't even heard it yet, by the way. Okay, so let's see what he has to say here. This one was sent to me on Saturday.
Anyway, yeah. So cheers, Sunday or Saturday morning. Getting ready to pick up my race ink. I had the mechanic build it. So hopefully I'll have my new 20-inch top tube bike. But anyway, the long or the short, watching the Vegas National, as a lot of us know in the industry, 19 to 27-year-old category is the biggest category in BMX right now. It's no longer like 10 expert, which is actually a kind of a problem. But that being said, 19 to 27-year-olds, there's usually 40 to 50 riders in that group or category. I think yesterday, Friday pre-race, they had 37 riders. How do you get a 19 to 27-year-old to think that old school BMX is cool? An example would be like, let's say we take the guy who's 21, he's nag number 2, and he comes on your show and you're like, hey, do you know who Stu Thompson is? Like kind of your trivia. I don't think he would know who Stu Thompson is, these days. You know who Greg Hill is? Yeah, I heard of him. Isn't he GHP? Okay, great. You got 1 point. Have you ever heard of Daryl Young? Have you ever heard of Terry Tennett? Have you ever heard of Charles Townsend? I have a feeling these guys today, they don't know anyone, but they will tell you all about Tom Brady, and they will tell you all about Barry Bonds baseball. So that's my point. How do we get like today's 19 to 27-year-olds, which is the largest category in BMX right now, to respect and understand and have a little knowledge and history about the past riders in BMX, or does it really matter? Is that going to make the industry grow, or is it just something we're doing because we're in our 50s and it kind of keeps us relevant? So I don't know where I'm going with this. It's just I know what I see. So I've been BSing with Mike Miranda on the same thing. So you're not alone on this conversation. We're just going to try to see who can kind of grasp that crowd. Like, imagine 19 to 27-year-olds at Dirty Fest. Okay, it's just a bunch of 40-year-old guys, and I don't know how long that's going to last.
What do you guys think about that?
I think he has valid points, but I don't necessarily agree with all of them. I think that we do this to be what do you say, relative? I totally
relevant. Yeah.
I totally agree with that. I think that 90% of our show is authenticity, that we believe and we love what we talk about on the show.
Right.
I would question my ability to speak honestly and intuitively on BMX currently.
Okay.
Is that what you took from that we should be talking about current BMX?
Yeah, it looks like he wants us to bring in a younger crowd to get their interest into the old school aspect of the sport, and also to so if we could dive further into the modern racing, we can expand our audience, and I think that's what Terry is saying. And I told him, I go, well, we could definitely look into doing that and slowly bring in younger riders, but like you said, Kevin, we have to find a way to relate to them. And I do follow the sport, so that does help a little bit. But it's, we have to find the niche. I mean, how do we play trivia with somebody that's 27? Because we're different genres. I mean, there's a huge age gap, man. But we could figure that. I'm sure we could figure something out if we tried to do it.
What do you think, Shane?
Well, as far as the trivia, if you were to bring on somebody in that age group, I don't know. I maybe skip doing trivia and just bounce ideas off them and bring up. It's really hard because, like, NFL fans and baseball fans, they generally love history of the sport, and they can name all the way back to the 50s, 40s, whatever. BMX is different. It's really changed. So what they're doing now and what they're riding now doesn't look pretty much all like what we rode on. And so I don't know that they can relate, because I'll see posts. They'll post a picture of a drawing of, like, the Winter Nationals back in '88. Younger riders will go, God, how boring.
Yeah.
And that's all we knew. And so getting the two generations to kind of mesh and connect. He's got a good point as far as if you can bring in somehow get like a Sean Day.
Yeah.
Drew Polk would be a great one because the younger riders connect with him.
Yeah.
And being able to bring somebody else like that, maybe they find that episode interesting and they go, let me see what else these guys have done.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll stumble on the Greg interview, and maybe that perks up their interest.
So we have to find a way to bridge the gap in a sense. And, he did mention Dirty Fest and a lot of 40-year-old guys racing, but there's also a lot of younger riders there. I saw a lot of younger riders. Kevin, don't you agree? Racing at Dirty Fest?
Man, a couple, yeah.
I mean, because I was in the infield filming, and I saw a lot of guys that were younger out there riding. Not so much the retro stuff, but a lot of them were out there riding. There's that one kid they call Danny Red Mags. Yeah. He's a badass, and he's like a nag rider, and he was out there doing it. You know what I mean? So
speaking of him, and I forget who, I saw an interview that said that he had the most fun.
Yeah.
More fun out there than at a national because he got to be a kid. And I think that was a big drawing point for myself, was you went out, you hung out with your friends, you got to go play in the dirt, ride your bike, do some jumping. and it was fun. And now it seems it's a lot more structured, riding year round. You can't do other sports. So and I think I saw Connor Fields talk about having your kids go out and do baseball, having more well-rounded. And that's a point with Greg, what he said with his son.
Yeah.
When his son won the national, said, we're done.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap, I just won a national. I want to keep going. But hindsight, that was probably the best thing that he could have done for that kid, for his son.
Yeah.
It made him well-rounded. And so.
Danny, do you remember like a year ago you asked me if I thought BMX was dead? You remember this conversation?
Yeah, there's a lot of that buzzing on YouTube, by the way, right now. But go ahead.
Yeah. Alfredo Mancuso. I watch his stuff, and I also watch Fo at Epic BMX in Orange County. I think his shop's in Fountain Valley.
Okay.
Actually, I've been there. I've been there a couple times. So I'm gonna ask you guys, what do you think is the biggest old school vintage BMX podcast out there?
Got to be Dirty Knobs. Has got the biggest pool, right?
Okay, let's say I think Eddie Fiola has like 70,000 subscribers, something like that.
Wow.
I think he's like the granddaddy of whatever. But
we're
not a podcast. But have you? There's podcasts out there we're missing a whole segment of BMX. The new freestyle movement, that they have hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of subscribers on these podcasts talking about new school, fit, cult, all the new stuff, all the grinds and the flares and the backflips and the all these different tricks, all these different brands on the freestyle side of things.
Right.
That totally are 100 times bigger than racing.
Yeah.
Way bigger than racing. And if anything that we should do, we should reach out or dip our toe into that part of the sport, because I interviewed one of my son's friends and my son way back a year and a half ago, and it was fun talking. But once again, we're old guys trying to talk about freestyle stuff now. But hey, man, Moeller runs a company about it, so I think that's something that we could think about.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Shane.
Well, when Kevin just touched on that, the Big Bike SE, Todd Lyons,
right?
The riders that they sponsor, they have an enormous following. And if there was some way, the wheelie kids, there was some way you could get one of those big name riders sponsored by Todd, that would be a big boost too, because their reach is hundreds of thousands. So,
yeah, and that's another topic that Terry spins on next when I play the next recording, and that's a good leadway for that, Shane. Yeah, he actually talks about that. Yeah, and I'll go ahead and play that for you now. Okay, let's see here. Here we go.
Cheers, and thanks for the shout out. The biggest thing that's going on is, once again, like Jason Richardson mentioned, that is going through one ear and out the other. But if I was a manufacturer, I would be listening up. This is what happened in mountain biking. The 26-inch wheel mountain bike went out of style. And as we all know, the 29er came in. There's not a kid in California or the United States that goes to a bike shop and says, I want a 26-inch mountain bike. He buys a 29er. So UCI and USA Cycling had to switch the elite category to 29-inch wheel bikes, because the 26-inch bike was no longer marketable. Richardson and myself have agreed that BMX needs to do the same thing. The biggest introduction to the 29-inch bike to the sport would be the Olympics coming up. Imagine if Elite Pro, this is a fantasy, Elite Pro now has to ride 29-inch bikes, which is the trend. It started with Todd Lyons. When they have a ride out, there's 1,200 people riding through San Francisco, downtown San Francisco, doing wheelies, jumping off curbs, and having a good time. And guess what? They're not on 20-inch bicycles. There's not a 13-year-old kid in the United States that goes to a bike shop and says, I want a 20-inch bike. No. He's getting a 29er. Big BMX is the future. So until BMX represents the trend of the sport, the manufacturers are going to be falling off like fleas off a dog.
All right, what do you guys think of that?
I don't agree with that though.
Yeah, it's hard for me to imagine race bikes being 29-inch BMX bikes because they're not. You're going to hear my comment to him in a second, but they don't represent speed to me when I see a big bike. I see it being fun and I see it being very trendy, but I don't view it as a race bike. But what do you think, Shane?
No, I think his point is the 29-incher has gotten so big, and that's where the market's going. Mm-hmm. So because 20-inch is a niche market, if they don't do something about it, companies are going to be going to buy. And the company like Todd did jumped on that market that are going to grow substantially. So I can see his point. It would be hard, though, for me to, like I said, it's a fantasy, getting the French team 29-inch chase. I mean, Nick on a 29, that seems odd to me. But he's got a point as far as what the market, where the biggest shares are right now, and it's not in 20.
Yeah.
Well,
anything else? Go ahead, Kevin.
Let me gather my thoughts here. First off, every kid wants a 20-inch BMX bike. There's no kid that I know that walks in. I owned a bike shop.
Okay.
Right? I never had one kid that came into my shop and said, I want a 29er. It's guys like you and me that want the 29ers. Back then.
Back then. That was different.
But they're the kids that are riding, grinding, backflipping, feebling, street riding, they're not doing 29s. If they're wheeling, yes, they're riding 29s. But every kid wants a 20-inch bike. That's their first bike. Can you imagine a 7-year-old kid comes in and goes, I want to buy a 29? There's no way, dude. They're buying a 20-inch bike, right?
Okay, yeah.
But if they want to go bigger, bring back the 26. They had a 26 30 years ago, 40 years ago, and it phased out, right? Now it's a 24. It started as a 26. Bring that back and see what that's like, right? I mean, why does it have to be 29? I mean, 29 is enormous, dude, like for a BMX bike. If there's a way that they can make it work and make it fast, I have no problem with racing or riding a 29. I think it's become these bikes have become caricatures of themselves. You know, beast mode and all these co-branded, all the weird, all this weird names and stuff like that. I just think it's become too much for me. Of course, I'm an old man.
Yeah.
Well,
I see value in it in a sense, Kev, because I see people putting money back into the biking industry, which is definitely good for us. I see a lot of bikes now that are heavily modified, so there's now a market out there for them to pick up the race parts that we would put on our bikes. They're just making them now for the big bikes. And I was watching the Big Bike Podcast, I think, the other night. I think that's what it's called. And the guy was like, I spend so much money on bikes, and I don't buy Harleys and cars and things. I put my money in bicycles, and there's a lot of money in that industry. People are tricking out the bikes just like we do our race bikes. You know what I mean? So that part, I see it, but I still don't view it as a race bike. But that's, again, like you, Kevin, I'm an old guy that grew up on a 20-inch.
Well,
go ahead, Shane.
And the last thing I'll say on it, today's world, kids, they want to emulate all the people they see on TV and videos and the YouTube videos and the influencers. And there's a lot of the influencers on 29s. And so naturally they're going to gravitate. And like Terry said, that is whether we like it or not, that is where they want to emulate them. And so that's where they're going to spend their money.
Yeah. Correct. Now, I did ask him a question. Go ahead, Kev.
I'm just saying is, who are they emulating? Some random dude in the city doing a wheelie, cutting off a car?
I would hope.
I'm sure they got their wheelie heroes in there, right? They got the guys that are just badass on those bikes.
Yeah, I mean, there's
they make it sound like we did wheelie. They have been wheeling since the 50s, dude. I mean, this isn't nothing new.
It's very confusing, dude. I know. I know it is.
There's videos on YouTube of guys wheeling with no front wheels in the 60s.
Yeah.
But it wasn't on purpose.
I did ask Terry a question. I'll play you guys the question. And then he responded, and I have not listened to his response, so I hope it's not too horrible. Sorry, Terry, I didn't proofread it, but here's my question to Terry.
That's awesome. Thanks, Terry, for that feedback. That's going to bring up a lot of topics tonight. And I was going to ask you, if you don't mind, is why do you think the kids are gravitating to the bigger bikes when you and I would probably agree riding a 20-inch bike is just more fun. It's faster. It's more nimble. It's just fun. It's more fun to ride, in my opinion. But in your opinion, I mean, you've ridden everything, Terry. You've ridden, on the velodrome. You've raced mountain bikes. You've raced BMX. You've raced cruisers. What is it about the bigger wheel bikes that's making these kids want to jump on them?
I don't know. You guys ready for his response?
Can I predict what he's going to say?
Yes. I think that'll be fun. Go ahead.
He's going to bring up Big Black. He's going to bring up MTV. He's going to bring up all these different companies that have co-branded with SE.
Okay.
And wasn't MTV kind of the first breakout national
Big Black
video on the MTV show?
Yeah, Robin Big. The first 29er was for Big Black.
It's funny how that one bike that he just made for the show exploded, right? That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
He's going to bring up that. He's going to bring up pop culture and that type of thing. Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
Danny, I don't get it either. I'm not sure what the draw is to the big bike, but it's definitely what the trend is, and I'll repeat myself again. About 10 years ago, the 26-inch wheel mountain bike died, and the mountain bike industry was looking at foreclosure or how do we reinvent ourselves. So they came out with this bike called a 29er, and the industry blew up. And as we know today, the Olympics will be men and women racing on 29-inch wheel mountain bikes. Same thing happened in BMX, okay? Our generation, let's call it 70s, 80s, 90s. Yeah, it was all about the 20-inch bike. Well, I noticed by about the year 2000, the cruiser count was almost as big as the 20-inch moto count, as an example. Now the cruiser count is about even to you could literally have a cruiser national, and it would be 200 motos. And then the next day have a 20-inch national, which would be 200 motos. Okay? But when it comes to street life and what they're referring to as bike life, okay, it hasn't trickled down to the BMX track. It's not about the BMX track anymore. But the guy sitting on the couch with a beer between his legs, okay, he rides a 29er. And he's got a 19 to 27-year-old son who wants a 29er also. He doesn't want a 20-inch. So I know I'm rambling, but to answer your question, I don't know what the draw is, but you have to go with what the trend is. And kids make the world go around. It's not a bunch of 50-year-olds talking about Webcos and FMF and who had a G-Boy and who had Attic sprockets and, all the shit that I keep hearing week after week after week after week. It's just, it's getting beyond old school. It's like, okay, Grandpa, get off the telephone wire and start talking about something that's more relevant. So once again, how do we get the 19 to 27-year-old to chime in? And how do we find out why, from a 19 to 27-year-old, why the 29er bike is the trending bike? We already know it took over mountain biking, but I think BMX is next. Once again, the guy sitting on the couch with the beer can't relate to a 20-inch bicycle, and he's definitely not going to go out on Monday and buy his kid one. The kid wants what dad's riding, and it's just how it's changed. I don't know how to explain it any other way. Once again, I know I'm rambling because I'm kind of on the spot. I haven't had really time to think about it, but it is what it is. All I know is if you go to Mike's Bikes, which is a franchise, there's no 20-inch bicycles there, okay? They're all 29ers, wheelie bikes. The seat slammed, high bars, everything's anodized that could be possibly anodized, just like it was in the 80s and 90s for BMX. So BMX either needs to step up to the plate, or there's not going to be an industry anymore.
Thoughts, Kevin? What do you think?
If they can make a 29 to go fast and look cool and race it, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I don't know how. And just for the record, I think that 29-inch wheels fell off a couple years ago. Now it's 27 and a half.
And now they just dropped a 32-inch SE Racing. They dropped something called the Colossal, 32-inch wheels, dude. This is getting bigger and bigger. It's almost like the trend for cars when they released the 20-inch wheel. Everybody had to get 20s, and then they kept getting bigger and bigger until you got cars that look like 4x4s because the wheels are so big. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's relatable to what's happening right now. And I appreciate Terry's feedback, man. He's raced everything. That dude's he's a cyclist. He's not just a BMX guy. And so I appreciate his thoughts. I mean, that's a tough one, man, because BMX is what is BMX? It's 20-inch bikes going hella fast. That's what BMX is. So I don't know if maybe they have classes where they're going to start introducing this is cruiser, maybe super cruiser. I don't know. How do they get the bigger bikes up to the track? I think if we can get the big guys to come to the track, that might make it. That could help. I don't know. What do you think, Shane?
Well, the thing with Terry, I know he's got a jump spot. I don't know how close it is to his house.
Yeah.
But it sounds like there's a bunch of kids that come out to ride. So he's going to have his finger on the pulse of what kids want. And so if that's what he's seeing, I mean, I'm not connected to what's going on.
Right.
Yeah, if that's what he's seeing, then I got to believe that that's what he's seeing. I just like, and another thing, maybe what you could do, here's an idea for a guest. See if you can get a hold of a top 19 to 20 or 27-year-old expert. See if he'll come on and ask him a bunch of questions and see if he can try to make some sense of it. But no, I think Terry's a great source of information. He's been doing it. He stayed in it, and I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. So
yeah.
Okay, I have a 27-year-old BMX rider right in the next door. Morgan.
there you go.
You can be like, "What do you want, Dad?"
Yeah.
Come here, son. He's too busy vaping pot right now, probably. You don't have to stay right there. Stay right there. What do 27-year-olds think about big bikes now? The SC thing and all that stuff. Is it a go? Is it good or is it bad? What do the older riders think about it now?
What do the older riders think about it?
20. Your guys your age. Do you guys care about big bikes?
I mean, if you're looking.
Can you hear him?
Have them get in the view of the screen so I can hear.
So I guess if you're in the realm of cruising around, you're not in the scene, I feel like they're cool. But I feel there's no crazy discourse on them being as a negative.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say dirt jumpers are a different story because there's dirt jumpers and then there's the PK rippers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like,
So do you think that? I can't quantify my question. Would anybody
ever race a 29er?
Yeah.
I mean, probably. I mean, can you even race a 29er?
No. But if they made one,
I will say that they were racing those at Frogtown. Like when you see Todd racing, he's on a big bike. He is not on a 20. You know what I'm saying?
What is Dick Cheeseburger on? Was he on?
He races a 20 and the big bike.
Todd Spree?
Yeah.
Okay. So what should I ask him?
Wait, Ted's on the big bike, or Todd's on the big bike?
You talking about Todd Spree? Or you talking about somebody else?
Todd Lyons.
Todd Lyons.
Yeah. So with from a younger rider perspective, man, is the big bikes killing the 20-inch bike, or is it just two separate things that have nothing to do with each other?
Two separate things, two separate cultures.
Okay.
Well, dude, now if you're talking now like street culture, I come from street culture. So like street culture is one thing, and then like dirt culture is another. So I feel like in the realm of dirt, especially down here in the 951, it's like it's shared between like 20 inches and then more mountain bikes, and then you go down to Orange County and it's more like mountain bikes and dirt jumpers. So I feel like it's a mix within an area depending of your area.
It's a good answer, man. I think that says it all, Kev. Really, one has nothing to do with the other in a sense, man.
Yeah, I mean, do you think? Okay, do kids your age look at us like we're grandparents, and I could care less what you guys say? Like, do you? I'm gonna put them on the spot. Do you listen to the podcast?
Do I listen to the podcast?
Honestly,
at least the short.
I don't listen to the podcast.
Okay,
and there's not any reason for it. It's because I have so many clients and work of my own that I don't necessarily have the time to.
Okay.
But
do you think that we're too old to be talking new school stuff?
No, not. I mean, you guys are fine. I mean, if anything, it goes with your relation to the industry. If I'm talking about my dad, like he has his respect in the streets when it comes to, at least down here.
You hear that, dude?
Like he has I'll give word that like Justin Spree and a lot of the big dogs in my crew, like they all have the respect. He's like he's like number two. He's like number two under Todd with the amount of like respect.
Number two. Here. The guy that won the put down at Dirty Fest.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Hey, number two, Kevin.
Huh?
Two. You're nag two.
I'm number two. I'm nag two. All right, you can live free this dude. You have to pay your rent tomorrow.
Okay, word.
Well, I had a thought. Now, when you go back to the early days of Cruiser, and look how just not raceable they looked. And then once people started racing those, people started designing parts, designing frames, designing things for it, and they become the type of race bike that they are. So it's just an evolution of the frame, the bike, that, the 29, if it does come to that, to where people are racing it, as time goes on, it'll evolve to where it looks racy. And
can you imagine if you race a 29 at a national? Now it goes up to 700 motos, dude. The motos triple now.
Man, that's a good thing though, isn't it?
Get rid of the normal cruiser. You got to run a 29, or you don't race.
It would be like a week long for the one national, dude. Oh man.
Yeah, but see, those bikes, they're not really made for speed. It's like an Escalade racing a Porsche. I mean, they're just different bikes. I mean, I've never personally ridden one, so I don't know what sort of speed you're going to get out of them. Todd looks pretty fast on it when he's coming down the hill at Frogtown. So I'm like,
I agree. I think Shane said that everybody that rode a 29 would adapt, and I absolutely agree that once guys start flying around a track on a national and they think, oh shit, man, it's just people are just going to get faster, and the industry's going to create moves and policies and all this other stuff to go around it.
And
maybe it's not a bad idea.
And think of it this way: when we were running flats, tracks were built a certain way. When clips came in, they had to change the way the berms were and the way the tracks were. If 29s were to come in, the tracks would evolve as well to accommodate to where they would race well.
Yeah.
Because like I said, if you go back and you look at the early days of cruiser racing, those bikes were definitely not raceable as visually anyways.
Yeah, like the Cost Cruiser. Look at the Cost Cruiser.
No, he's talking about before that. He's talking about beach cruisers, like
exactly.
Okay.
First year or so when it was a beach cruiser that people
with swept back handlebars. Yeah.
I got a story on that, guys, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, Shane, but you just sparked a memory. And when I was a kid growing up and I was really getting into BMX, right? I'm like 12, 13, 14. My dad would always look at our bikes and go, those are absolute junk. I go, Dad, really? That's a badass race bike. He's like, they're junk. I don't know why you guys are riding these little bikes. Because in my dad's era, they were on the big freaking Pee Wee Herman bikes. You know what I'm talking about? You know, and he thought that riding a 20-inch was silly. And so he went to Goodwill and he bought like some sort of Schwinn, but it was a 26-inch bike, big balloon tires on it. And we were at the schoolyard riding around. He goes, now let me show you how fast this is. Now my dad was probably 40 at the time. And we were racing. Once I got my bike spinning, I was gone, you know. But then again, my dad was like 40 and I was probably 14. So it's a little different.
So old. Jeez.
Yeah. Now I look at 40 and think it's young, you know, but I put it on him, right? And then I said, I told you, Dad. He goes, that's just because I'm old. That bike is never, the diameter of the wheel is too small. And he gave me the big lecture on it. And he still feels that way. I mean, he loves that I do this, you know, but still it's that's always been an argument.
Dude,
in the house.
And what I'm about to say is, I think I've said it before, but
yeah,
in my prime jumping, we're talking 7-8 trash cans standing up. There were guys on beach cruisers, Schwinn beach cruisers with swept back handlebars that were doing what I was doing on a 20-inch. And
that's insane.
It's insane, dude. And these guys were like weekend warriors, dude. They came out, whatever. I'll race and I'll jump the trash cans. So it's totally possible to jump a beach cruiser. Huge error. Shout out to Daryl Goodwin. I think he's a subscriber. And he was essentially a long-haired hippie dude that just liked to jump, but on a beach cruiser. Yeah.
And last thing I got to say, I didn't mention this, but the big bike thing, there's a lot of comfort in riding a bigger bike. And if you're doing a ride out and they're doing 20 miles, it must be a lot easier to ride that bike than to ride one. It has to be. Yeah, because I mean, I go on bike rides and BMX bike's just not that comfortable. Let's face it, but it's not made for long rides like that. But hell, we rode them all over town. Like growing up in the 80s, that was my transportation. I would go everywhere on that damn thing. Didn't think about it. You know what I mean? But then again, I was a lot younger.
Yeah. You didn't know any different.
Right, exactly. All right, I came up with a game. We're at the hour point. You guys want to try it?
Yes.
All right. So Kevin, this is kind of your idea. So I'm going to experiment with Shane, since Shane is a contributor to the show.
He's got a nice gerbil.
What did I sign up for?
So I came up with 3 factory teams: GT, Diamondback, and Mongoose. So you guys are going to go one-on-one right now. And Kevin, you'll start. And you're going to start naming riders that were on that team. Whoever runs out of riders first loses. Whoever can, you know what I'm saying? You get it?
Got it. And just for the record, this was stolen I stole this idea from Salami. Go ahead.
Okay. So we're going to try it. So we'll start with GT. And then Shane, you'll say a rider that rode for GT. Kevin's going to counter. Then it's your turn. Then it's Kevin's turn. And whoever runs out of ideas first.
Funny thing on this, So
Yeah.
my local FM station, sports station,
Yeah.
they'll do a phone in, and
Okay.
they'll do Tony Gwynn Jr.'s on the show, and they'll name the Washington Nationals or some topic, and they got to name everything, and whoever misses, I think it's 3 strikes,
Okay.
loses it. So it's the same type of thing.
All right. So you basically have the rules. Now this is an experiment. So if this game sucks, we'll just blame it on Kevin. It was his idea.
Salami, it was his idea. Go ahead.
All right. All right. We'll start with GT. Shane, you go first.
Danny Nelson.
Greg Hill.
Go.
Adam McGuire.
Jeff Schofield.
Ooh, I raced against him mountain bikes, dual slalom.
Oh, really? Okay.
It was fast. Rob Fade.
Jason Donnell.
I already named him, didn't I?
Nope.
No.
Who did I say?
We
No,
just
wait a
started,
minute.
dude.
Did Jason Donnell race for GT?
Yes, he was on with Schofield.
Okay.
Tommy Brackens.
And
Nice.
Lee.
Nice.
God, why am I drawing a blank?
The biggest rider for GT ever. You guys haven't said it.
Craig Bark.
Gary Ellis.
There it is.
Kevin Hall.
Ooh, good one.
Oh, wow. Hold on.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
I got one.
you got Craig Bark. Oh, that's a good one.
Man, you got 11 riders already. Do you yield, dude?
Fiola.
Huh?
Eddie Field, does freestyle count?
There you go. All right, we'll take it.
Deanna Edwards.
Ooh, good one. Kevin. I'd be stumped already. So
I think I'm done, man. Can you name one, Danny?
Terry Tennant.
Terry Tennant.
You got another one, Shane?
There's one, but I can't. No.
That was good, man. You guys did great. That was the first time, and that was let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 riders.
I got one.
What do you got?
Mike
Mike
Luna.
Pena. So that was pretty good. So that's 15 riders. So Shane did pretty good. He got that win on that one. But Kevin, nice, dude. Nice on that one, dude. Hey, yo,
hey, 2 main bikes team riders on that list.
yeah, man. I didn't know Jason Donnell raced for GT. I wouldn't have known that one.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah,
oh, that's good.
he's got 2 other big name teams that he was on.
Oh, really?
He's been on 4 big. He's been on
I
Bassett.
picture him on Redline for some reason.
He was on Bassett. He was on
CW,
who?
CW, and GHP.
CW. He was on Powerlight, GT, GHP. He was on GHP too. Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's go around 2. So that first one goes to
Dave
Shane.
Volker.
Okay, we're done with GT, dude. That's a good one, though. All right, so Shane, you got round 1. We're moving on to Diamondback. All right, since Shane won the first round, Kevin, you can start.
Harry Leary,
Eddie King.
Doug Davis,
Rich Farside.
Sherry Ainsworth,
Nope. Cindy Ainsworth, wasn't it?
Cindy Ainsworth. Yeah.
You got the last name. We'll give it to you.
Pete Monkarovich.
Ooh, nice.
Charles Townsend,
Good one.
The master, Matt Hayden.
yeah, that was my next one.
That's a good one.
That was my next one. Brent Romero,
Nice.
I'll save that one. No, I may have to. Oh, Jason Bruton.
Nice one.
Eddie King.
Got that one.
We already said that one. Mikey King was on Diamondback too, right?
No.
Yep. There was one guy that I gave you I asked you guys during a trivia, and I said, this rider left Patterson and went to Diamondback. Does that help you?
Ooh.
Left Patterson and went to Diamondback. John Cruz?
Nope.
Rick
Shane?
Palmer.
Rick Palmer. Rick got it. Rick Palmer. Do you guys have any others just for
Mike Dominguez.
Mike Dominguez?
Come on, Kevin. That was freestyle. Come on.
Oh, man. Oh.
Woody Itzen. Wasn't Woody Itzen on Diamondback for a hot minute?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I know he was on Hutch. And was he on Diamondback? I don't know.
Was Derek Garcia on Diamondback?
Kuwahara.
Kuwahara. He didn't. I don't think he had just like a quick, from what I remember.
That's 12 riders that we got right there. So we got Harry, Larry, Eddie King, Doug Davis, Rich Farside, Cindy Ainsworth, Pete Loncarovich, Charles Townsend, Matt Hayden, Brent Romero, Jason. I didn't get the last name on that one. I'm sorry. I can picture it. Yeah, and we got Rick Palmer, Mike Dominguez. Is there anybody else? Just that, I mean, it looks like Shane got that one, but is there any other riders that we're missing?
I can't think of no one else.
Man, you guys that's impressive though, man. That's a lot. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Came up with 12 riders. GT had more. You guys found a lot more GT riders.
Diamondback didn't have a lot of turnover.
Yeah,
GT didn't
definitely
have a lot
not.
more turnover than Diamondback.
All right, now this one, guys, Mongoose. Now this one's going to be. There was a lot of guys that raced for Mongoose.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So let's let Shane go first this time. Shane, go ahead.
Jason Chang.
There you go.
I win.
Oh, you win. Travis Chipris.
Nice.
Eric Root.
Oh my gosh. Stu Thompson rode for Mongoose.
No.
Wait. Shelby James.
Nice.
Billy Griggs.
Good one.
Tigger Juarez.
Good one, man. Went way back for that one. Impressed.
Slammin' Sammy Erlano.
Woo! Good
Jeff
one.
Coswalla.
Good one. The cause.
Ooh, now.
Yeah,
I'm
just about every big rider rode for them at one time, I think, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You guys got 8 so far.
God, I'm stuck. I think I'm done.
Greg Hill, didn't he race for Mongoose at one point?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think so.
Oh, wait, maybe he rode a Mongoose, but didn't race for Mongoose, right?
There was another guy by the name of Jeff Lewis rode for Mongoose.
I have a question. So,
Okay.
Darwin Griffin.
Darwin, was that blue?
Yeah,
What is it? Blue Max?
Yeah, I was going to ask, does Blue Max count?
That would be a different team.
Darwin did ride for Mongoose, though.
Okay, we'll put him on the list. Charlie Litsky, is that his name?
Yeah.
So he raced for Mongoose. Okay, Litsky. And what about
Fuzzy Hall?
Tim Hall? Tim Hall raced for Mongoose. Okay. Man, not even I'm stuck. I'm just trying to help you guys at this point. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 12 riders that we've come up with so far.
I'm stuck.
Damn, Mongoose. I would thought that was going to be the easy one, but apparently not, man.
Well,
We only had. Did we have any more freestylers in there?
Mongoose, I can't even tell you who was a Mongoose freestyler.
There's a lot of modern guys that race for Mongoose that I'm not. I didn't follow it enough to know.
Cam Wood.
Cam Wood, the defending champ. How did we forget about Cam? That is hella funny.
The guy, the old school guy the bike fell out of the back of the truck. Hall of Famer. I can't remember his name.
Well, hey, that was not bad. So, Kev, I think this game will work in the future, dude. But we got to dial it in a little bit. But you guys did really good on that, man.
I like this game, dude.
Yeah, that was really good. And you got anything else, Kev? I have other topics, or we could wrap it up because we've been going about an hour.
Let's get one more topic.
All right. So I was doing some thinking about the beginner programs and the beginner leagues, and they call them BMX leagues. I guess they don't really call them beginner leagues. Do you guys think that there's a future for beginner leagues? Is it done correctly? Should more local tracks kind of lean into doing beginner leagues? My local track doesn't do the beginner league. I guess they, whatever. I know that it's really big in Napa, and I think they do a beginner league in Roseville. What do you guys think about the beginner leagues?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think they're fantastic. With
Me too.
as much pressure on kids these days with social media and just all the influences that they have, school, and I think that's what helped me stay out of any trouble. Was riding a bike, and I know Dale Holmes does a fantastic one at San Diego BMX. Donnie Robbins does one, and what I've noticed is there's been quite a number of them because Dale will post it, Donnie Robinson will post it. Riders that have graduated from doing those classes become national riders, national winners. So no, I think anything that can keep kids on the straight and narrow, having fun with their peers. Everybody races; they're not on the bench, and I think it gives them a sense of belonging. That, hey, I'm with the group. We're out having fun. So, no, I think they're doing fantastic. I think the schools. It sounds like Dale has huge support, and he's had it for a long time. Because the companies that help sponsor with them see the value in it. And yeah, I think it's fantastic.
I like it too because it gives it kind of a little league vibe because you sign up, you get into the program, and you race I don't think it's an entire season, but they do a whole class and they introduce them to the sport because if you go to a BMX track for the first time, it's really intimidating for a new rider because everybody looks like they know what they're doing. Everybody's fast. If you're going into a beginner league, you're racing with your peers and learning with everybody. Like, hey, this is the starting gate. This is how you pump, and you got to learn how to stand up and ride. And I think Dale told me and Kevin that he's got people that show up that don't even know how to ride bikes yet. If you remember that, Kevin, I don't know if you do.
Yeah, and they had to teach them how to ride in the parking lot first.
Yeah. So I love the idea. I think that local tracks, I know they're going to need volunteers to do it, obviously, but it should just come natural to have. If you're running a track, you should have a beginner league. And I know a lot of them do clinics, and I think that's great. I think clinics are awesome. That's the one thing my local track does do. They have a lot of clinics and a lot of training for novices and intermediates. But a beginner league would be off the hook. I think it is anyway. What do you think about that?
Can you quantify? I think I know what a beginner league is, but can you quantify what a beginner league is?
Donnie Robinson probably has the most successful one. And I forgot do you remember what he calls it, Shane?
I don't offhand.
Yeah, and so these guys all, from what I understand, Kev, as the riders sign up, and then he's going to work with them for a few months before he graduates them into what he calls open racing. So they do their own racing, they race each other, he trains them, gets them prepared, and then they enter into open racing, and they start getting into the whole regular racing scene.
On a regular track, on a separate day, or on the same day as normal racing?
I think Donnie has his own event. Yeah.
Well,
so really cool.
And another cool thing that I've seen, I did a go-kart racing series where it was an arrive and drive, to where I just showed up, they had the cart ready. They do the same thing here where they have all the bikes, the helmets, everything is supplied for the kids. So they just need to show up. And I think one of the best aspects of it is all the kids are in the same boat. So they're all learning together. Nobody feels like they're an outsider going, well, if I ask that, I'm going to sound dumb.
Right.
They're all learning together. So it's kind of like the group mentality to where everybody's in the same boat, which I think helps make the learning experience and just the overall experience would be more fun to make them want to keep coming back. So
that would be a good fit for you, Shane, because you're such a even toned guy. You probably work really good with kids, man. You ever thought about doing clinics and anything like that?
No, because I'm not really in the current racing. I mean, so somebody like Tyler or Dale, Randy or Donnie, they're in the scene. So, and I think it's also important because Dale and Tyler, they can go out and do the track, ride the track, jump the jumps. So they're going to capture the kids' attention going, wow, he's really good. So that to me is a better learning tool than somebody that just gets up and talks. So here's your lines you want to do. And
I think it would be like, for me, I look at Connor Fields does these clinics too, and they can pick quite a bit to go ride with Connor for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it, man. That's like going to a Michael Jordan camp. You know, you're going to get to play with Jordan for the day. I get it. I totally get that. And I think there's a lot of value in that. But I like the league concept a little bit more because I like the fact that it's more than just a day of riding. It's like it's like a class, man. I think a lot of the local schools should get involved with that because if you think back to when we were kids and it was time for Little League, the school would notify us, blank and blank Little League is having signups on this day at the school, blah, blah, blah. And they promoted it big time at the school. So before I was a BMX racer, I was really into baseball and like half the kids in the school were playing baseball, and that, of course, times have changed. But that was what reality was because the school was pushing it from that point, and that was getting kids to want to play. And
Is there an age limit to this beginner league? Like, can you go in there when you're like 40 or 30 or 20, or is it just kid like 10, 5, 6, 7? How old are we talking?
I think you'll work with anybody. I think Donnie rides with anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Dale and Tyler would welcome anybody because that's a potential.
So it's a clinic. It's not a league. It's I don't understand.
No, it's the way they do it. They structure it to where they work with the kids, and then once the kids kind of gravitate and get better, they'll actually hold races, and they'll do. I think they do like a 6-race series, and then I know they also at the end of the camp they'll give out prizes, jerseys, and I believe they give out a bike. To the kids. So
that would be sick. Like, name 2 tracks up by you, Danny. You have Manteca, and what's the other one?
We have Manteca and Roseville.
Okay, let's say that Roseville had a BMX league and Manteca had a BMX league, and then they race each other, dude, for their own little nationals. That'd be cool, dude.
That's freaking brilliant, dude. I love that idea.
Almost like a factory team, like the Manteca team's going up against the Roseville team or whatever, dude. That'd be kind of sick.
That's amazing, dude. How come no one's ever thought of that?
I don't know. I didn't even know what BMX League was until we talked about it.
That's awesome. I found something here. It says North Bay Napa BMX League. This is what we're talking about. North Bay BMX Olympic medalist Donnie Robinson and countless junior coaches and volunteers offer beginners only program where no one sits on the bench. That's all it says.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. But Kevin, you just struck something, dude. How awesome would that be, dude?
It seems like they could train again. They could train for another team, another league. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. Isn't that how The Voice works, man? You get one actual superstar training these other singers, but we could do it with BMX. You got all these superstars that are like, let's say there's 5 of them. Yeah. They all have their own classes, and then they have their own national. Like, we're gonna race. Everybody's gonna race everybody.
Yeah.
See who develops the best riders. Dude, I love that idea. I think, Kevin, we're gonna have to do it ourselves.
Hey, before we, what I was thinking about, the Hall of Fame. Like, do you know if they have like field trips to the Hall of Fame? Have you ever heard of anything like this
for BMX?
Yeah, like can you imagine if you're in 4th grade and you're going? Well, next week we have a field trip. We're going to the National BMX Hall of Fame, and you walk in there. How would that stir interest in the sport, dude? That had to be good. Someone has already had to have thought of this. It probably already has happened.
Kevin, you're on fire. Great. You're on fire, dude. That's another great idea, dude.
I would go to. I didn't go to a lot of school, but I'd go to school that day. Hell, fuck yeah, man.
That's such a great idea, dude. Kevin's filled with it, man.
The old stuff and the new stuff, right? And it would be like the big building and US BMX. I mean, I think that'd be great, man.
Dude, next time we talk to anybody, we should throw that idea at them.
Yeah, dude.
I think that's epic. If we can get Donnie Robinson on, that would be amazing because he's mid school. So to get him on would be great, and we can get some insight on that league and talk about some of the ideas. I think that would be pretty awesome. So Shane, you got some work to do. Go get Donnie.
Oh man! All right, man. So what else you got?
Let's see here. BMX runs all year long. There's no off season for BMX. So the races start. For example, it's January, and then we just did the Vegas National, and the Grands wrapped up in November. So really, the only off part of the season is December. Is there? Go ahead, Shane.
Doesn't the season end like December 15th for points?
Well, there you go. So there's really no off season at all. I'm just saying the national series is a wrap, right? By November. So by January, they're right back at it again. So if you're a factory rider and you really get no break, you're going to get maybe Christmas off and then you're right back on tour again. Does that hurt the sport, help the sport in your guys' opinion? And would you do it different, or is it more racing the better? I mean, as a kid, I loved that I could race anytime. It didn't matter what time of the year it was. You're just going to get cold or you're going to get hot. But when I was young, I didn't care. But then again, I was never a national rider. So, I mean, what do you think, Kev?
Well, the more races, more money, more everything. So, yeah, race till you drop.
So you're a fan of it. You think no off-season really makes no difference to you?
Well, you can choose your off season, right? If there's racing all year round, 12 months a year, you can choose your own off season.
There you go.
What's good for you?
What do you think, Shane?
I think it depends what you want to be. If you want to be a top national rider, my thought on that would be you'd want to go to the races with the most riders in your class. That way you're maximizing the amount of points you get.
Is that how you viewed it back when you were racing pro? Did you pick and choose your nationals carefully, or you just went to whatever you could go to?
Well, I mean, I didn't go to like Maryland or like smaller states. We went with the bigger, like Texas and the bigger nationals.
Yeah.
I don't know. Personally, To me, that's a challenge, especially if it's the mom and dad picking up the expenses.
Yeah.
Now you got 3-day nationals, so time off work. And if your kid is trying to get into the national scene, I mean, that's a lot of pressure on them. And
Yeah.
plus, that takes away from the local scene. So I don't know. I don't have an answer because back in the day, it was 2 associations.
Yeah.
The riders had to choose what they were going to race the most in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, there was NBL and ABA. And so they had their own competition, trying to get the most pros. And but NBL was an East Coast thing.
Yeah.
So I only raced a few NBL, did some at Snipes, went to the Murray World Cup, but I was mainly 95% ABA.
Okay. So all year round didn't have any bearing with you at all. Didn't
No,
make much difference to you at all.
No, because we did a lot of locals. So we
Okay.
had our own circuit. We were racing 4 to 5 nights a week. Saturday and Sunday would be 2 to 3 races a day.
Dang.
Yeah. So
I think that's what got you to that level. You know, you race so much. You know what I mean?
Because of who was in this area or Southern California.
Yeah.
So plus you had to have supportive parents.
Right.
My mom she took me everywhere and made sure I got where I needed to go. So, but I loved riding my bike. So I never really got burned out until I got older.
Yeah.
But nowadays it seems just totally different. It just seems way more structured, and it just seems like there's more pressure on the kids. And I saw some posts this weekend about the Little League parents.
Right.
It's just like, that's the worst. It's just the worst.
I got a question.
Go ahead, Kev.
As a pro in the 80s or 90s, I would think that you'd want to go to the smaller races because there was less competition and a better chance for you to win money. Is that a fallacy?
If it was a smaller turnout, payout would be less. So
There's a trade-off there.
Guaranteed payout, unless it was like one of the bigger races, like Murray World Cup, the Grands. But at little nationals, no, it was usually like 100% payback.
Okay. If I was an amateur, say I was 16X, and I wanted to win a national, dude, right? And I won a little national, or I won the Grands, it don't fucking matter. I won a national, dude. No one ever said, hey, wait a second, how many motos were in that national, right?
True.
Yeah.
True.
I wouldn't care if it was, as long as it was national on there, I'd be like, I'm racing. I want to do that one.
That's cool. I like that, man. I was going to bring up another topic, guys, just to shift gears really quick. With the USA BMX, the Pro Series, there's only going to be certain nationals now that have a Pro Series race. So, for example, in Las Vegas this weekend, no pros, just amateurs. So they've eliminated what they call the Pro Open, because A Pro's now gone, it's just Pro, right? So on a non-Pro Series race, they still had what was called the Pro Open, meaning that vets can race, elite, rookie pros, doesn't matter, but that's now been eliminated. And there's some guys that are not happy about that. So you go to a race, you won't have a class at some certain nationals. It has to be Pro Series.
Why would they make that change? Do you know?
I don't know, and I just found out about it over the weekend. I go, oh wow, there's not even a Pro Open, huh? It's just nothing. It's just amateurs racing, and it just seems kind of like, why would you take the allure of not having pros racing? Because I was telling a friend of mine, I'm like, I used to go to nationals just to watch the pros race. You know what I mean? So with them being gone, no offense.
Draw, right? That's the whole draw. That's the finale of the movie.
Thank you. That's how I feel about it. Now, I mean, I know a lot of guys go to a lot of nationals, and it's a normal day at the office for them. But for guys like us, like I was like, every once in a while I get to go to a national. And guys, I would drive to Reno just to watch the pros race. You know, so I drive 3 hours just so I can go sit in the stands and watch the pros race. And now it's like, it's not happening. It's only happening at certain races now.
Well, do you think it's to save the pros lobby for it, for they could save their energy for the bigger races or something? Could that be it?
There has to be some logic behind it. I have no idea. Do you know any insight on that, Shane?
As far as that, all the top dogs aren't going to race a local race, which if it's just Pro-Am, they're not going to race, travel the distance, money, take a chance on getting hurt.
Yeah.
So, no, they're only going to focus on Pro Series races where they get points. Money's better. So,
did I misunderstand the question? Was the question that you said that all nationals are not going to have pros anymore? Is that what you said?
No. Only certain nationals will be Pro Series races. If it's not a Pro Series race, there's no pros racing at all. So you go to a national, there's a chance of just amateurs racing.
So any national, a BMX, US BMX national can exist without pros.
Right. That's what happened in Vegas over the weekend.
All right. And I'm saying that the only reason why that they would eliminate the pros from that is that they may want to be saving themselves for another race or a bigger race or something like that. Right? And then
well, yeah.
But Shane, you disagree with that?
yeah, the pros, like the Cam Wood and Cam Larson and the top women, they don't care about racing pros. They're in it to win the big races. And so they set their training schedule up where they peak at those races. And so what they'll do is they'll set up with their trainer, hey, we got a 2-month window. And so they'll set a training block to where that next race, they're going to peak. You can only peak so many times throughout the year. So they'll go through their schedule to figure out, okay, I want to be top here, 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 here. So that's what the deal is. They set up their training schedule to where it's either spinning, quick twitch type training, or sprint. They've got it down to a science on what their bodies respond to. And so stopping that training block to go do a Pro-Am makes no sense. If that makes sense to you guys.
I'm thoroughly confused. A Pro-Am, so Danny, you're saying just a Pro-Am, but there's pro racing or no pro racing at all?
No, there was no pro racing at all in Vegas. None. There was no, what they were calling it is a Pro Open last year, in the last couple of years, because they eliminated A Pro, because it used to be A Pro, Elite Pro. So A Pro's gone.
I still don't understand why a pro wouldn't want to go.
I mean, don't you want, if you're a journeyman pro, don't you want as many chances as you can to make money?
Yeah.
I mean, like if you're a journeyman and you're not necessarily in contention for a title, yeah, I would want to be able to race when I can. If I lived in Vegas and there was a national and there was no pro class, that's a bummer. You know, I'm like, oh man, I got no way to make any money this weekend.
In that instance, yes, on that type of level of pro, absolutely, you want to race as much as you can. I'm talking like the Cam Woods, the Olympic level.
Yeah, the elite of the elite. You know, that's a different level. Yeah, I get it.
Their schedule and what their goals are totally separate from the journeyman pro or
right.
But so it's, I don't know how long it's been, but the Pro Series has had only specific races.
Right.
And I want to say Arizona is usually the first pro race of the year.
Yeah.
So yeah, they go to only, I don't know, maybe 10 races.
I guess what I struggle with is when I think about the 80s and 90s, at any given ABA national, there was pros racing.
Correct.
Yeah, so I guess that's what's kind of missing. And like Kevin said, that's the show. You know, I'm going to a national to race and try to win, but I also get to see the pros race, which is a big deal, man. And that's, you know, that's our opinion and probably Kevin's, but
think of it this way. Back in the day, let's take the NBA, Jordan, Bird, Magic.
yeah,
They played every game. There was
Right.
no such thing as load management where
yeah,
they would take off every other game. So they've condensed the schedule now for the pros. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
you're right. Back in the day, it seemed like every national, but also there weren't as many nationals.
yeah. Probably 18 nationals for the ABA, I believe, if I'm thinking right. And I know I would go to I typically would go to Reno and Bakersfield, and there was even nationals here in Stockton, and there was national right in my backyard in Sonoma, California, and there was pros at every single one of those races, stacks of pros. So that's why I'm like, man, dude, with that being gone, I don't know. I mean, I know that track in Vegas is insanely short, but I think when we talked to Jason Chang about it last year, he was like, man, I'd love to see the pros mix it up on that tight course. You know, and I remember that, Kev?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that's all I got tonight, guys. I don't know if you have anything else, Kev.
Average age of a pro these days.
What's that?
What are we talking? What's the average age? Are 18, 19, 20, 25? What's the average age?
That's it.
I think on day term pro, I think he's either 17 or 18,
Okay.
which nowadays is on the younger side. So you need to be somebody like him. I think he's going to do well. I would think 19 to 25, 26.
That's going to be your prime years, in my opinion, as well.
So nobody's turning pro at 14 like Greg Hill and Eric Root.
Hell no, man. These guys are way too fast now.
That thing in BMX was in just getting started to where there was really no precedent of, well, you can't turn pro until you're 16, 17.
Yeah.
He was fast enough he could turn. But one more thing back on the schedule, back in the day, because there were two sanctions, pros were running almost every weekend, whether it's ABA or NBL. So they would just, like, compared to today, there's no comparison on the amount of races, wear and tear.
Well, they needed that because you figure the exposure, like Greg Hill was saying, everybody could make their own BMX action on social media. You can promote yourself all day long, which you should be doing. But back in the day, there was 3 major BMX magazine publications that came out monthly. So these guys like Stu Thompson, Eric Group, Greg Hill, Harry Layer, all these guys, they had to promote themselves in those magazines, meaning they had to race a lot in hopes that they're going to get some coverage in the magazines, not only for their winnings, but for their co-sponsors and all the contingencies and so forth. So I think that's more relevant then than it would be now, you know, because these guys are going to get exposure every day. They can film themselves training every day and drop a short, you know, as opposed to the guys from our time. Yeah, they had to wait for that publication to come out. So it's just different. It's a different game, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think a lot of the big sponsors now require that you do a monthly something to put out social media wise.
Yeah. So Kevin, we're doing the right thing. We self-promote the hell out of ourselves.
You know what I always wondered, like, you ever take a picture of yourself like 30 years ago, and when you got the picture taken, you're like, oh, I hate this damn picture. I never want to see it again. And then 30 years later, you look at the same picture, and go, damn, man, I look pretty good back then. Has that ever happened to you guys?
Yeah, you had mentioned that before, and I agree. Yeah.
So I want to reverse it. So say Eddie King got a picture taken in BMX action in 1982, right? And he looks back at it now and says, man, I hate that damn picture. People keep putting that picture on Facebook and all, and I got to live with that damn picture for the rest of my life. I wonder if that ever happens to these guys that were in the magazines, like reverse it, like, Oh man, I thought it was cool back then, but now I can't stand it.
Oh, yeah, probably, because there's so many forums and Facebook groups with old school guys, man, thousands of guys.
And they keep posting the same 100 pictures over and over and over again. Like, oh man, I hate that picture.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they used to, for the racer champ for The Rock.
Yeah.
If you won, you'd go and get your picture taken, and then in the magazine, the paper that came out, BMX or whatever it was, they would post a picture of every winner. And so I was going through the ABA website where they show photos from different national way back when.
Yeah.
Holy crap! My picture showed up after I think I won Open.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I had hair.
That's funny you said that, Shane, because if you go into the USA BMX archive, they virtually have every national.
Yep.
And you can go through every national. And if you went to one of those nationals, you can scroll through every single photo and see if you can find yourself in there.
And actually, I've found myself, and I actually ended up buying one of them.
Nice.
Wait, what? You mean I can find a picture of myself when I was 16 beginner going over the bars in Burbank?
If they took a photo, it could be in there. It could be in there.
How do I get in there? What do I have to do?
Go to USA BMX, and then there's an archive of photos. I forgot. I could probably walk you through it after we get offline, and you can find it. I was looking at nationals that I remembered that I went through, and I was looking at every photo, man, just desperately seeing if I could find something. I didn't find anything for myself, but look at Shane found himself in there. So that's pretty cool.
Trying to find the one picture.
But they wouldn't have taken pictures of beginners, though. It would have been like high-level experts and pros.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. There's a lot of photos in there, my dude.
Who's that?
That's me.
Yeah.
Hey. Like Abraham Lincoln, dude.
It was about that long.
That's so cool, dude.
Is it for videos too, or just for still pictures?
Still pictures.
Yeah, still pictures.
Yeah. But that's really cool, man. One night I was laying in bed, man. I was like, "There's got to be at least one of me somewhere in here." I just didn't find anything, man.
Are the NBL is there NBL pictures integrated into that, or just ABA?
Ooh, I think they're just ABA nationals. I think. Yeah. Because I went as far back as '86. I put U.S. Nationals 1986, and I was looking through. I'm like, there's got to be something of me in here. I didn't find anything, man.
But it's free until you want to get the picture, and then you have to pay.
Yeah, if you want a printout of it.
See the little wording?
They put the watermark on it with the USD. Yeah,
it goes away.
Oh, how much are the pictures?
I want to say like $9-10. I want to say.
Okay,
that's totally worth it. Yeah.
You know who had there was one race who had a bunch of pictures, and I don't know if she knows this, but Holly Dunn.
Oh.
Every fourth picture was of her. It's like, I don't know if she knows it. If she's watching this, go back to the archive. You'll find pictures of yourself.
That's awesome.
All right, man. So, is that it, Danny?
That's it for tonight, man. We went an hour and 48 minutes on the topics I wrote down, so that was great.
Boy. All right, so we can't divulge any names, but we're looking at some very, very high-profile guests coming up in the near future, hopefully.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to follow Greg Hill. Sorry, Shane, you had to come on after Greg. So.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I told Kevin I'm glad that I got on early, like when I did, before he got
That's great, man. So everybody, I think we had like 35 new subscribers just because of that one video. So thank you very much. Thank you much for everybody for subscribing. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Danny, why don't you tell me what you do when you're not with me, man?
Danny Pena, BMX Racing on YouTube. BMX Magazine reviews, race reviews, all BMX content all the time.
And what do you tell people that you do when you're not with us, besides sleep?
I watch you guys.
Yeah, my last video did pretty well. I did a classic BMX racing video and more. That was my 54th race video that I've done. And now I'm kind of I'm finding myself kind of looping through races that I've already looked at, but I have a different perspective of them now. So I'm starting to rehash stuff. I've been mixing in a lot of the new school stuff with the old school stuff, so try to get gain some more subscribers that way. But I'm at 983, dude. We are less than 20 away.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, dude.
We're gonna have a party when you hit 1,000, man.
Man, I'm telling you, dude. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna retire from the YouTube world. What was that now?
Did you ever get your Christmas present?
No, dude. And I've been checking the mail, and nothing came from you.
Dude, I sent this guy a $1,000 gift card in the mail, and it got lost.
Yeah,
I want to say thank you for that gift card.
I think I sent you like a $50 gift card for some sort of restaurant up there.
Man, so you might have to go back where you bought it and see if they could reissue you another one. I just never got it, dude.
Wow, that's messed up, dude. Someone's eating your food, bro.
Oh, that just pisses me off because I like to eat.
Man, as of right now, we're at 12:01.
Damn, dude, we're doing it. We're cooking, man. Let's get to that 2,000 mark, man.
I mean, the Greg Hill interview was at 700, which is enormous for this channel.
That's good, man. Well, thank you.
Other channels, that's like the first hour, but for this channel, 700 is enormous. So
yeah, it looks like it's at 704. I predicted it was going to hit 1,000 by the weekend. It came close.
Close, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we pushed that video out as much as we could, dude. I think I made about 3 or 4 shorts just off that video alone. And
okay. When I open Facebook, there's Greg Hill.
Yeah. And Greg was commenting a lot, dude. He was talking to me and Kevin on Messenger, and he had a good time, dude.
Great, man. Great stuff. So the one video where I said that Greg Hill reconnects with Rich Long and whatever and joins Robinson, that thing's sitting at like 19,000 views right now, I think.
That's amazing, dude.
So
that's amazing.
If anybody says that no one's interested in old school BMX, that just shows you that may not be that accurate.
I think
that's a good rebuttal.
I think it depends on the guest.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you very much. If you'd like to support the channel, hit the subscribe button, BMXPodcast.com. And until next week,
the track is closed.